All right. What's up? Welcome back in, everybody, to another live of Gamecock. Chuck, we're going to talk a little bit tonight. As you guys saw the title, Offseason Blues is the name of this live. I guess, the offseason's here. Not really anything the Gamecocks have to cheer about right now. Football season's around to bend. Basketball season's over, of course. Baseball season just wrapped up. We'll talk about that here in a little bit. Softball season wrapped up. So not really anything to cheer about when it comes to my Gamecocks. What's up, Scott? One of the first ones in here. Welcome. But I want to start tonight's show off, I guess, on a little somber note. That some of y'all Gamecock fans may remember this name, may have heard the news, but just want to say prayers to Dacus Turman's family. I just read a little while ago about his passing, a Gamecock running back from the Lou Holtz era, actually the end of Lou Holtz area, the beginning of Steve Spurrier's tenure at South Carolina. Sad situation, man. The young man was only 42 years old. Somebody said something. They believe it was a heart attack. But still, 42 years young is way too early to die. But we all living on God's time, and sad situation there for that young man. Prayers for his family. A wild thing, when I was in the Marine Corps, that was actually my high school. The high school he went to, Washington Wilkes High School, right there in Washington, Georgia, was my high school. I recruited for the Marine Corps out of that high school. I actually put a set of brothers in the Marine Corps from that school. And I had an opportunity to try to recruit Dacus Turman to the Marine Corps. But, of course, we all know how that went. Football was his avenue to get out of there. So I knew it was an uphill battle to try to get him to join the Marines versus, playing college football. And, he was very respectful. His family was very, very respectfful. Very nice family. If I remember correctly, his dad was a pastor. And from what I read, he got into the ministry, after his playing days were done at South Carolina. So, he was, doing God's work, and probably in a much better place right now than here on earth. But that's my memory of him, not only on the gridiron, at South Carolina. He didn't amass a whole lot of yards. I was looking up his stats earlier. But when he got in there, he made things happen. He had like 5 touchdowns, I think it was, during his 2 years that he played at South Carolina. Had about 450 yards, somewhere around there. But, he was a class act. His family was, like I said, I had numerous conversations with them while I was trying to recruit him into the Marine Corps. And he will be missed by all his Gamecock teammates. Talk about Dacus Turman there, David Green, from I want to say the class of 2000, I think it was. The young man passed away yesterday in Augusta, Georgia, I believe it was, or that's where he was from, that area. So I was just sharing my memory of him because, like I said, when I was recruiting, I recruited at high school. I had an interaction with him, trying to get him to join the Marine Corps. We all know how that turned out. He went to play for Lou Holtz and the Gamecocks. During his high school career, he broke a lot of Herschel Walker's high school records at the time. I think they've since been broken since then. But during the time, whenever he played high school ball, he broke a lot of Herschel Walker's record down there at Washington Wilkes High School. So, like I said, I just want to start the show off by that, saying, my thoughts and prayers are with his family. And, so So yeah, so sad news from the Gamecock front there. But let's see here. What else we're going to talk about? Yeah, good to see you back. It's good to be back on here, David. It's been a minute. I've been busy lately. How's the audio? I feel like I'm a little sketchy, like a little splotchy here as far as my movement. Doesn't seem like it's going well. But how's the quality of the video and sound? Does it sound good? Does it look okay? I feel like there's a lag or something in it, but anyway, I wanted to start that off like that, to show off like that. Like I said, rest in peace to Dacus Turman. And for some of you Gamecock fans, remember that. So, but anyway, like I said, the title of this live Offseason Blues. It's that time of year. There ain't a whole lot going on. The Gamecocks, of course, crapped the bed in softball and baseball. Nothing really to cheer about right now as far as men's or women's sports. I mean, there might be some track and field or something going on. I don't know, or I don't know what sports out there. But as far as baseball, softball, it's over. Football's right around the corner. So that's what we got to look forward to next. We'll go ahead and talk. We'll talk about softball and baseball right quick while we're on that topic. Like Scott said, tough law for softball team. Hey, let me go ahead and tell you this now. The softball team, they blew their opportunity. They blew their opportunity. Dang, David. They blew their opportunity the other day. And I put a shorts out about it. They had a 3-run lead in the 7th inning and couldn't do it. They Gamecocked it up. They Gamecocked it up in that game. Questionable pitching change. I still don't understand that, but I guess that's why I'm not the coach. What else? Something else happened in that game. Oh yeah, base running errors. That was a key factor in the game. You know, we got the bases loaded, hit into a fielder's choice. They come home with it. The young lady running the first turns and goes to the dugout. No idea why, but she turns and goes to the dugout. The first base coach didn't stop her. That could have costed us some runs there. We don't know what would have happened if she would have just stayed on first. We may not have got no more runs. We may have put up another 2 or 3 runs, may have put up another run. Who knows? But the fact is we didn't, okay, because of base running blunders. Like Scott said, leadoff walk. I think did we give up a leadoff walk in that inning in the 7th inning? I believe so. I'm not sure. I tried to erase that game from my memory. But yeah, leadoff walks, pitching change, which I still don't understand why we went back to Grass, because she threw a fat pitch, and as soon as that girl hit it, I knew it was over. But hey, what can you do? That's what happens when you play good teams. You give them a good pitch, they're gonna knock it out the park. Oh yeah, make sure you guys are hitting that like, make sure you're hitting that thumbs up, please. Subscribe if you're new. Get in the comments. Let's get this chat going tonight. Like I said I put out a little post earlier talking about I'm probably going to try to stumble and bumble and blubber through all this live because I haven't done one in a while. So, but yeah, softball, they shit the bed on in the College World or the Super Regional. They should have been in Oklahoma City playing in the Women's College World Series, but they didn't. They couldn't get it done. They couldn't shut it down. They gave up 3 runs. They gave up 4 runs or whatever it was on that walk-off home run. And then they came back the next day and UCLA had our number. Couldn't get anything going, and UCLA was able to get out of there with the victory. excuse me, and knock us out of the Women's College World Series or out of the Super Regional, whatever. So, baseball, we know how that ended. Florida took us to the woodshed in the SEC tournament that Tuesday. We'll see who comes back. So far, Roman Kimbrell, I think, is the only one that's left that I know of. I did see something earlier about Bo Hollins, I think it is, said he was coming back for next year. So, but yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, Scott, it was still an awesome season. Ashley Chastain Woodard did a hell of a job, phenomenal job with the softball team. So looking forward to what she brings next year. What the team can do next year. What kind of talent she brings in next year, and see if we can do better than what we did this year. So I'm excited for the softball team, and see what they can do next year. But going back to baseball, like I said, I think Kimbrell is the only one that I've heard of that is entered the transfer portal. There may be more, I don't know, but Bo Hollins is staying. So we'll see if Paul Maneri can work some magic next year. And of course, all his staff are staying. Sad situation there. I don't understand how he's keeping some of the staff members, but he is. So, I mean, heck, the first year he was at LSU, he didn't do well. He did about what he did here at South Carolina. The second and third year, he did better as the years went by. But I think he's only on a 5-year contract, so he don't have a whole lot of time to make a lot of headwind. So he might want to get it in gear next year and do real good. As far as the baseball, I'm pretty sure everybody's heard, that John Whittle put out that article or whatever talking about, the baseball team and some of the things that they wasn't doing this past year as far as practice. They got rid of the track man, which helps, I guess. Has something to do with pitching. I guess it plots all the pitching and helps the pitchers out a whole lot, be better, I guess, be more effective, more efficient. But they didn't use that this year. They got rid of that. Let's see if I can find. I took a snapshot of it. Let's see here. No, that's not it. Failure to develop and practice. So the track man, they got rid of the track man that helped the pitching. Players backsliding in productivity. So to me, all that screams leadership. That screams leadership right there. And that, to me, that's a red flag. That's a red flag when it's my team. That shows me, or that tells me that when you got players that don't want to practice, don't want to develop themselves, get better, that starts at the top. That starts at the top, and it starts with the seniority in the locker room and the coaching staff, and that's got to change. That's got to change. Or like David Green said, he's going to run out of time. And it's a shame that we were once a really, really good baseball program, one of the best in the country, competing at the highest level, winning national championship, won two national championships back to back, competed for a third one, for the third year in a row. We ended up short on that, coming up short on that game or that College World Series, and we just haven't been able to get back to where we were, whenever Ray Tanner was here, whenever he was there at Columbia. So we'll see. Like I said, the leadership's got to get better. Both at the top with the management and in the locker room. So how they going to do that, I don't know. but it definitely needs to change. Watch a little hockey. The Hurricanes are fighting for their lives. They're down 3-1. So got that on as well, trying to keep up with that. But yeah, I don't know. Baseball, we'll see. Like I said, that right there was a major concern to me when I saw that. And to me, it just, like I said, it screams leadership, management, whatever you want to call it, or lack thereof anyway. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes next year. He's got to get out there and recruit, hit the transfer portal, bring in some talent, and see if he can turn the program around in year two. Talk about that. Still no word on Rasul Faison. Coach Beamer, he's down there in Destin, Florida, I think it is, doing their SEC roundtable discussions, talks, whatever you call that thing, where they talk about I guess everything from rules and scheduling and whatever else they talk about while they're down there in Florida. But he was down there. He's still a little frustrated about the whole Rasul Faison thing. Who knows, man? Who knows if this young man is really going to play for South Carolina this year? To be quite honest with you, I'm thinking he won't. As much time has gone by, I really don't think that young man's going to play a down of football for South Carolina. I hope I'm wrong, but I just don't know, man. They still in the wait and see process. The NCAA is still dragging their feet. No decision has been made. Let's see here. Apparently, he's exhausted all 5 years of his eligibility, according to an article I read. Yeah, I know what Dealmaker said. I know what Jordan Dealmaker said, but I don't feel good about it, man. And that's cool. Jordan Dealmaker's got his own opinion. That's cool. I'm a pessimistic person, so if he plays it down in football at South Carolina, I'll be shocked. But like I said, he's already exhausted all 5 years of eligibility, according to an article I read. Who put that out there? Summer Gun. I can't remember who put it out there now. But I read it somewhere. It might have been on the Big Spur. Heck, I don't know. But anyway, the lawyer, he's already said that if they don't start getting some answers, they're going to have to take it to court. We'll see how that turns out. I guess that's worst case scenario. If they don't get a decision soon, they plan on going to court about it. See if they can get him. See if they can get an answer. Get him another year of eligibility. The thing about that though is, we should have went out there another back in the portal, man. We should have. I mean, we got some good backs. Don't get me wrong. We got some good backs out there, but I mean, you always got to. I say it's better to have more running backs than what you need. I guess you could say. You can't never have enough. There you go. That's what I'm trying to say. You can't never have enough running backs. What's up, Todd? How you doing, sir? But apparently, if he's not cleared, we got Bradley Dunn, we got Jawarn Howell, Matthew Fuller, Oscar Attaway, and that's it. So, to me, I thought we probably should have went and got another transfer portal piece just in case. Because at first I didn't know the situation with this young man. And it took a little while before I figured out that, go, baby, yeah, Carolina's up. Woo! Sorry about that. Yes, Hurricanes up 1-0. As I said, yeah, Todd, when you're right, running backs are prone to have a lot of injuries. So, like I said, you can't never have enough running backs. You can't have too many running backs. and I think we probably should have went after another one. But like I said, I didn't understand. I didn't know the situation with the young man. I didn't know that he was trying to get a waiver. That wasn't. I didn't see it anywhere. Whenever I was reading up on the young man when he committed or anything, it took a couple of Shane Beamer press conferences before I realized that he needed a waiver. So I'm thinking we probably should have been on top of that from the get-go and went after another transfer portal running back just in case. But the way it looks, though, if he don't play, we just gonna roll the dice on what we got and hope for the best. Because I don't think there's another transfer portal opening during the season or before the season starts. I don't think. And if so, who's to say there'll be anybody in there that's decent? So, but no word on him. Trying to think here. And like I said, according to Shane Beamer, he don't seem too worried about it. So, and according to the deal maker, he don't seem worried about it either. So, but like I said, me as a pessimistic person, I'm gonna worry about it. So no word on him. I did see an interesting thing, and y'all may have seen it. I'm not sure if you have or not, but apparently, let's see if I can get to it real quick. Apparently, ChatGPT did the season for South Carolina, their win-loss record for South Carolina, and apparently ChatGPT, whoever does that or however that's done, I guess that's more what AI or whatever. They really like South Carolina. They really like South Carolina this year. And they did their schedule. And like I said, wins, losses, they put up stats, like, I guess like a simulation. They simulated the season for South Carolina. And they had South Carolina going 10-2. They had South Carolina going 10-2 this year, with losses to Alabama and who was the other team? LSU. LSU was the other team they had South Carolina losing to. And they had us in the college football playoffs. So I don't know. I don't know what to take it at. Like I said, it's just a simulation. But apparently they like South Carolina. And I was just reading through some of it, and they talk about how it unfolds, who does what, how many yards they get, yada, 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 at the end of the season, like individual final season stats. Like they got Lenore Sellers. Let's see here. They got Lenore Sellers balling out this year. They got him doing 3,300 yards, almost 3,400 yards, 30 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, completing 66%, rushing for 610 yards and 7 touchdowns. They got Faison. So, see, they seem to think he's going to play as well. They got Faison carrying the ball 242 times for 1,385 yards, 14 touchdowns, 18 receptions, 165 yards, and a touchdown. They got an Oscar runner for 742 yards, 7 touchdowns, catching 132 yards and a touchdown. They got Nick Harbor. With 1,000 yards receiving, almost 1,100 yards receiving, and 10 touchdowns. So apparently, according to ChatGPT in their simulation, this is Nick Harbor's year to ball out and do some big things for the Gamecock. What's up, Paul Lemon? How you doing, sir? Welcome in. Hit that like button, please, everybody. Yeah, I like the stats too there, Todd. But like I said, I don't know how you. I mean, these are just simulations. Like I said, I don't know much about ChatGPT or whatever, but like I said, they simulated a season, and they had Nick Harbor, like I said, almost 1,100 yards. They got Malik Clark with a little over 800 yards, 7 touchdowns. Brian Rao, 512 yards, 4 touchdowns. They seem to like that young man, Malik Clark and Brian Rao, how do you say it? Up here in North Carolina, they say Rowe or Rao. They say Rao up here in North Carolina. I think it's Rowe down there in South Carolina. But they seem to like them two young men this season, the Chat GPT simulation, because apparently when I was reading through some of the individual games and how South Carolina won or lost them games, them names seem to pop up more than any other wide receiver out there besides Nick Harbor. Jordan Dingle, they got him catching 342 yards, 3 touchdowns. And apparently they love our defense too, according to Chat GPT. They got Dylan Stewart with 13 sacks, 18 tackles for loss, 48 tackles, and 3 forced fumbles. So if Dylan Stewart has 13 sacks, that's going to break some records if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember. I should have wrote all that down. But I think that'll break some Jadeveon Clowney records. But I have to go back and look at that. But 13 sacks, if he gets 13 sacks, that would be phenomenal. The problem with that is you got to have somebody on the other side to take the pressure off of his side to allow him to get to the quarterback that many times. So will that be Dez or will that be somebody else? I don't know. We'll see when the season kicks off here September or August 31st or whatever it is. Oh, they almost scored. But they like our defense. They got Fred J.R. Johnson, one of our leading linebackers, 92 tackles, 5 sacks, 2 interceptions. DQ Smith, they got him having a phenomenal year. Jalen Kilgore got him having another good year. Judge Collier, same thing. The question mark for special teams, they got Mason Love handling the field goal duties. And that's an interesting thing, too. They got him going 19 of 23, perfect on extra points, long of 48. And one of the games, and I can't remember which one it is, they got South Carolina losing by like a couple points it is. And apparently we turned the ball over when we can actually set up to kick it like a 50-yard field goal. So if that scenario comes true, I'm pretty sure we're going to have Mason Love kicking a 50-yard field goal to try to win the game instead of turning the ball over on downs. And of course, they got William Joyce being handling the punt details. So I mean, what can you take out of that? I mean, nothing really. I mean, it's fun to do. It's fun to do these simulations and read into all that stuff, but I mean, who knows what this season's going to look like for the Gamecocks? Todd Wynn said 10 wins is possible. So is 8. Yeah, I mean, heck, anything's possible. Anything's possible with, the ball bounces the right way. You get some good breaks here and there. Anything's possible. 12-0 is possible. It's not out of the realm of possibility. I mean, the odds are extremely against us to go 12-0. I don't see us going 12-0, but if you talk about possibility, yeah, anything's possible. Probability, probably not. And I haven't really looked into the schedule and everybody that we play in and who they bring back. Like I said on my last live, I think it was. I haven't dove into that yet. I haven't read any kind of articles or magazines because they haven't came out yet. Like the Field Steel or Athlon or whatever. I haven't really looked into them because they haven't come out. So I don't know who's bringing what back, who got rid of who left. So I can't sit here and say that, the Gamecocks will beat this team or beat that team without doing a dive into, said teams, who we playing this year. So, but we'll see. We'll see what, once the season gets closer and I go buy one of them magazines. I don't think I'm going to put out a whole lot of preview and prediction videos as far as other teams, but I will do one on South Carolina and what I think their season's going to look like this upcoming season, how I think the record's going to be. Now, last year, it wasn't too – I was way off, to be honest. I said 6-6, 7-5 at best, and we ended up winning 9 games. So we'll see if I can do better this year. See if I can do a little bit better this year. And see if I can predict it. And hopefully I won't make a dumbass statement like I did last year where I said I think South Carolina's going to have a 1,000-yard receiver, which we fell way short of that. That was my bold take last year. See if I come up with another bold take this year, but it won't be about 1,000-yard receiver. So but we'll see. But yeah, I mean, let's see here. If we go 12-0, I don't know if my heart will. Yeah, no shit. No shit, Scott. If we go 12-0, I will think I have died. Yeah, South Carolina goes 12-0. I don't know if I could do these shows if we go 12-0. It would make it easier to do these shows probably if we had an undefeated season, but there'd be so much to talk about. So, but yeah, I don't know. But I thought that was pretty interesting when I looked at that article about ChatGPT and their simulation. I thought it was pretty crazy. They were so high on South Carolina. I think the win total overall, win total was 7.5. I think that's what Jackpot said. I think he said he got that from one of the betting sites, FanDuel or whatever. So, and every year so far, I think, except for 1 year, Beamer has eclipsed that. So, I don't know. You got to like the chances of going higher than 7 wins or 7.5 wins. So. Let's see where you got some hockey going on. 1-0 still. But anyway. Trying to think of what else I want to talk about. I think I covered about a bunch of it. So if anybody's got any questions, shoot it in the chat. If anybody wants to come on, I'll let you come on and talk. I'm trying to keep up with this hockey game a little bit, but trying to think if there was something else I was going to talk about. I know they're down there talking, like I said, doing their little coach talk and athletic director talk and talking about schedules and things like that. What's up there, P Digits? P Digits in the house. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what else to talk about. I had a few things, but I think I already covered all that. Maybe I should have slowed down. I shouldn't talk so fast. Yeah, there really isn't, Scott. You're right. There is absolutely nothing going on, at least for the Gamecocks. I mean, you still got baseball out there. You got the regionals and everything getting ready to fire up, I believe. If I'm not mistaken, I think Clemson is hosting a regional. I think they are. I think they got West Virginia, Texas. So was somebody else in that region? I don't know. South Carolina ain't playing, so I ain't kept up with it. What's up, Quentin Broom? How you doing? I'm a channel member, Mr. Quentin Broom in the house. Welcome in, sir. Hope you're having a good day, good week. For the ones that wasn't in here, I started off by talking about Dacus Turman. Any Gamecock fan that's been around a while knows who that young man was. Played for Lou Holtz back near the last part of his tenure at South Carolina and the first part of Steve Spurrier's tenure. He played at South Carolina. He passed away yesterday, so heartfelt condolences to his family. So I started the show with that. So if y'all missed that, so we also touched on Faison, nothing new there. Softball, baseball. Talked about how the softball team crapped the bed on game 2. They had that game in the bag and let UCLA come back and crushed their dreams of going to the Women's College World Series. That would have been the first time they would have been there since 1997. But we'll try again next year. Super proud of that team and Coach Woodard and what she's done with them young ladies. Baseball team, Yeah, that's that's a mess down there in Columbia. Hopefully Maneri will get things straightened out. If not, we in for a long 5 years if you last that long. He did it. Said Clemson baseball is hosted. Who they got? Do they have West Virginia, Texas, and somebody else? P digits. I want to say I thought I saw that somewhere. I can't remember where. I saw that somewhere. And if so, that's a heck of a regional if that's the case. That will be a. If not, let me know who they host or who's in their regional. Because I thought I saw West Virginia, Texas, and somebody else, but I can't remember. Unless I just didn't know what the heck I was looking at. Kentucky. Oh, okay. So West Virginia, Kentucky, South Carolina upstate. Okay. I don't know why I would think Texas. Texas is that was a stupid thing to say. Texas is one of the top programs. They're not going to be in y'all's region. Yeah, they're going to be hosting probably. That's going to be a tough region right there, P digits. Because West Virginia is good in baseball. Kentucky's good, or Kentucky had a good season. South Carolina upstate, y'all should handle them no problem. So yeah, that's gonna be a heck of a regional for you guys to get out of. Okay. Clemson, South Carolina upstate tomorrow. So that means Kentucky, West Virginia play as well. So I'll be rooting for West Virginia in that regional because my wife, she's from West Virginia. So I'll be rooting for the Mountaineers. Well, I don't care much for Clemson. But that's not the only reason. Like I said, my wife, she's from the state of West Virginia. So I'll be pulling for the Mountaineers to win that regional. But our season's over, so like I said, we ain't got a whole lot. We ain't got nothing to cheer about. The only thing we got to look forward to is summer workouts and fall camp coming up. That's about all we got to worry about. Look forward to. So let's see what else we talk about. What else we want to talk about tonight? Like I said, I didn't have a whole. I tried to have a little. Try to have some notes, a couple talking points to discuss, but I ran through them pretty quick, and got a whole lot to talk about. Like I said, there ain't much to talk about. How many ranked teams in SEC baseball this year out of 20? I don't know. Let's see here. I know you got Arkansas, Texas. Was Georgia ranked? I think Georgia was ranked. Gosh darn it. Hold on one second. I should know. Most of them. LSU was ranked. Let's see. D1 baseball rankings. Here we go. The latest. You got Vanderbilt, LSU, Texas. 1, 2, 3, 4. Arkansas 4. Auburn 5. Georgia 6. Ole Miss 7. Tennessee 8. Florida 9. 10 in the top 25. Alabama's 10. Alabama's 24th. So about 10 of them ranked according to May 25th through May 25th. 10 SEC teams were ranked. So what's that leave? Like 6 unranked? So 6 unranked teams in the SEC. Now, how many made the tournament? I know South Carolina didn't. Missouri didn't. I don't know if the rest of them made. I don't know if Mississippi State probably made it because they were They were right there as far as being ranked, not ranked, so they were up there, I think. Let's see if I can find a bracket. Oh, here we go. You got Vanderbilt in the Nashville region, Alabama's in the Hattiesburg Southern Miss regional. Mississippi State didn't make the tournament. Oklahoma made the tournament. So right now, who is it? South Carolina, Missouri didn't make it. I think Georgia might be hosting too. I don't know. But that's weird. Texas is hosting. Ole Miss is hosting. Yep, Georgia's hosting. They got Duke, Oklahoma State, and Binghamton in their regional. So LSU's hosting. Clemson's hosting, of course. Tennessee's hosting. Arkansas's hosting. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You got 8 SEC teams hosting out of 16. So there you go, 50% hosting regionals. I don't know about Super Regional. I guess who was the top 8 teams? Vanderbilt, Oregon State, North Carolina, Auburn, Arkansas, LSU, Georgia, and Texas, I guess, would be super regionals if they win. If those teams win, we'll be hosting the regional or super regional. So, yeah, y'all PDs, y'all got a rough draw there. Y'all got Dallas Baptist, y'all got LSU. If y'all get through the regional to the super regional. Because LSU's got Little Rock, they got Dallas Baptist, they got Rhode Island. LSU should get through that regional. But y'all's regionals, I'd say that's pretty tough right there. Got Virginia, West Virginia, Kentucky. I think that's going to be a good regional. Arkansas probably shouldn't have no trouble there. Tennessee shouldn't have no trouble. Georgia, like you said, Duke's a pretty good baseball team. They got a good baseball team. They can jump up there and bite Georgia. So I wouldn't count them out. Oklahoma State wouldn't count them out either. But I think that one will come down to Georgia and Duke, in my opinion. Ole Miss, I don't know much about Georgia Tech to say, but UCLA, they got Arizona State, Fresno State, UC Irvine. That should be a good regional right there. Texas, I think Texas will take that regional. Vanderbilt got Wright State, East Tennessee State, Louisville. Vandy should be able to take care of that one. Southern Miss, got Miami and Alabama. That'd be a pretty good regional too. That might come down to the final game, the final day. Florida State, Bethune-Cookman, Northeastern, Mississippi State. I don't know. Mississippi State might be able to do it. If they get hot like they were during the season, during the latter part of the season, they might have something for Florida State. That should be a good one. Oregon State, they're always tough. TCU, I don't know much about them. Southern Cal, don't know much about them either. I think Oregon State will win that one. North Carolina, Holy Cross, Oklahoma, Nebraska. North Carolina should be able to get through that one. Should be able to manage to get through that one. Ooh, Oregon. They got Arizona, Cal Poly, Utah Valley. That probably come down between Oregon and Arizona. Coastal Carolina, they got Florida, East Carolina. That's a tough one too. That's a tough one right there. The Gators might get that one. I don't know. Coastal Carolina's a pretty good team too. East Carolina. That'd be another good regional. Auburn, North Carolina State, Stetson, and Central Connecticut. Wasn't a couple years ago Central Connecticut had some upsets in the regional, come close to winning. Maybe not. Maybe I think of somebody else. But yeah, Auburn should be able to handle business there. NC State might give them a little run. But yeah, I don't know. South Carolina in it, so I ain't really too much worried about that. Quentin Broom said, "Is South Carolina played in the Big 12 football?" That'd be interesting. Come on, Canes. That would be interesting there, Quentin Broom. That would probably cause some tension in my household. Seeing that my wife is from West Virginia, that would probably cause a little tension between her and I when that game was played. Yeah, I'm trying to keep up with this hockey game. Carolina, the Hurricanes have a power play, and they ain't shot the damn puck. Man, what the hell y'all doing? Quit skating around, shoot the damn thing. Shoot it, dummy. One timer, no good. But yeah, that would cause some tension in the house if South Carolina played in the Big 12. But it'd be interesting. I think we could be really competitive in the Big 12. Todd Gwynn said he wants to forget about baseball this year. I'm so disappointed. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what everybody expected from Paul Mainieri. I was excited that he was the coach, considering he's like a Hall of Fame coach, you know, and he's got all them wins and thing. I thought, like I said, I was excited, and I was trying to go into the season optimistic. I think when it comes to wins and losses this year, I didn't know what to expect and how his staff would come in and work with the players and develop them. But according to John Whittle, we saw that there wasn't any development or practice or doing what they should do to have a successful season. So, but I was a little optimistic as far as wins, losses, but I tried not to get too hyped about it. Now, year two, we'll see what year two brings, and see how he does as far as recruiting and getting some players in there. What's up, Mr. Terry? How you doing, sir? It's been a minute since I've been on here, I know, but good to see you in here. Quentin Broom said if we were in the Big 12, we'd be undefeated. I don't know about that. I wouldn't be so sure about that. There's some good teams. There's some good teams in the Big 12. Or there's some competitive teams in the Big 12, I guess you'd say. I ain't gonna say there's some really good teams. There's some competitive teams in the Big 12. Oh, Scott said he forgot about the baseball team by the 1st of April. Yeah. After the first few, what was it? By the time SEC play started, yeah, that's Ethan Petrie's going pro. Quentin Broom said, yeah. Who knows? He probably is. Young man's a talent, so go get it while you can. Also, Colin Murray Bowles, I think he's got a deadline to decide whether or not he's coming back for the men's basketball team or if he's going pro. Some people say he's going pro. Some people said they still don't know. So I guess we'll see by tomorrow, I guess. I think the deadline's tonight, as far as taking your name out of the draft. So we'll see. Skull! Oh, they didn't get it. Oh, my God, I thought it was a goal. Sorry, watching this dang hockey game. That looked like that went in the net. I guess not. It must have hit off the Must have hit off something. It's hard to follow this puck sometimes in hockey. Petrie had 54 home runs, second behind Hank Small and Justin Smoke. Yep. I was hoping he was going to break that record, but I guess he got injured there towards the during the season and was not able to complete the season. So it is what it is. So that was probably the bright part of the season that I was looking forward to. That never happened. So, but yeah, we're up on 50 minutes of the show. So, like I said, I appreciate everybody for hanging in, tuning in. Make sure you guys are hitting that like and subscribe and all that good stuff. A little disappointed. We got 8 people watching. They got 5 likes. What the world? Come on, everybody. Hit that dang like button. There we go. Canes with a goal. 2-0. Woo. Let's go. The Carolina Hurricanes are fighting for their life, trying to stay alive in the Stanley Cup in the playoffs. I don't know much about hockey, but it looks pretty exciting at times. Damn, he just shot that right between that girl's legs. Woo! That's Sebastian Aho. That's his second goal, ain't it? I think he scored the first goal. Now that might have went between his arm and his hip. But anyway, but yeah, that's about all I got for the show tonight. I appreciate everybody. Like I said, hit that like, subscribe, all that good jazz. Oh yeah. There's one more thing. You talk about. We're going to talk a little bit about football, high school. We're going to talk a little bit about high school football. Now, I ain't going to talk about nobody's season or nobody's team or nothing like that as far as, let's see if I can find it here. But I was online today, and this is old news. Apparently, it just come across my feed somewhere. I don't know where I saw it, but you guys probably have heard about this. But in Georgia, Buford High School? Yeah, Buford High School in Georgia. They built a $62 million football stadium. That is freaking crazy. But I saw that today and I was like, wow. They say it's got 6 practice fields and a separate field for the JV team. Got a scoreboard that you can view, like a video board that you can see from both sides. It's like crazy, man. It said it has multiple luxury suites with panoramic views, wide concourses, custom trophy case. They got everything. A video board, like I said, one of the largest ones in any high school stadium. It's crazy, man, what people do to high school. No, I thought they scored again. It's amazing what people will do, to renovate and spend money. But $62 million for high school, I think that's a bit much. But they're a powerhouse program, and hey, they gonna try to give everybody the best there. Let's see what Quentin Bruce said. But yeah, I thought that was pretty crazy. $62 million for a high school stadium is crazy, astronomical. I don't know why any high school team would need all that crazy stuff, but hey, that's better than some colleges, some college facilities, man. Quentin Bruce said, how does ChatGPT know that high schoolers such as Brian Rowe are going to do so well as freshmen? Hey, that's what I went over a while ago, man. They got Brian Rowe and Malik Clark, man. They got them guys balling out this year, man. I read that about that ChatGPT and how they simulated the season and had a 10-2 record, getting bounced in the second round of the playoffs to, Michigan in the second round, beating Alabama in the first round. But yeah, they I don't know how they. I know Malik Clark and Brian Rowe is talented, but I mean, how can they project or predict these young men having the season like that? So, but it'd be nice to see that if it comes true. That'd be cool to see. Their numbers are, when you look at stats for what they predicted on some of them players, a lot more than what I would say. I'm not going to go out on a limb and guarantee no 1,000-yard receiver this year. And they pretty much almost guaranteed two of them with Nick Harbor and Malik Clark. So, yeah, I don't know. Chat GPT, that's way out of my realm of knowledge. Don't know a whole lot about it. So, however they come up with that is crazy. But they got Lenore's having a good year, which I could see Lenore's having a good year. I don't know about no 30 touchdowns. I really don't. I don't see Lenore Sellers throwing 30 touchdowns this year, but who knows? Like I said, they got Faison running for almost 1,400 yards if he plays. So I'm still, like I said, I'm pessimistic about the whole situation. I'm not sure he's going to play. If he does, great. If he don't, we'll just lean on Oscar and the rest of the running back room that we got and see what happens. But kind of going along the same lines that Carolina Jackpot said today in one of his videos, or in his video, all this stuff depends on the offensive line, and that's something South Carolina hasn't had very much success at during Beamer's time. So this is his 5th year. He's got to get it straight sometime, sooner or later. So, but anyway, I think I've run about as much as I want to run. It's almost 9 o'clock. I don't want to eat into, Carolina Jackpot and Rob's show. I'm sure they got some great knowledge to share with everybody tonight. So, but I appreciate everybody for stopping by. And like I said, I've been super busy, and I got to get more consistent on doing these lives because, that's what I said I was going to do. And I usually try to be a man of my word. I try to do what I say I'm going to do. And I'm excited for the season, see what the Gamecocks can do. And like I said, hopefully I'll be back at this thing more consistently before the season starts next week as well. So, but make sure everybody hits that like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. I appreciate everybody for tuning in, for hanging out. And we'll see you guys in the next one.